Now, related parties. I think this is the only standard which is remaining. Okay. Now listen, even before I explain you this part now. Wait. Let me open up a page. Page. Yeah. 55. Acha, listen. Oi. Now, as far as SA 550 is concerned, it is on related parties. It is not the first time that you are hearing these words from me. I, I mean, previously also we have seen. Can you tell me related parties where you have done? You have already done, huh? One place you have done. So rude, yeah. You have already done, yeah. Forget GST and all, yeah. Can I say you have done this in accounting standards? What the hell, yeah. Can I say it is already done in AS 18, yeah, related parties? Oh, hello. Huh. So ultimately AS 18 related parties was theirs, no? Acha. Now, what do you mean by related parties? Whatever is the meaning of related party in AS 18, that is to there only. By the way, AS 18, we people will call it in auditing as FRF. So what is the meaning of related party? Meaning of related party is firstly whatever is the meaning as per FRF. So whatever is as per 18, related party is definitely related party. Apart from that, SA 550 also tells us about related party. Now, when can I say that two parties are related? When they have relationship. Wow, that is how you put it. When one when they have relationship, they are related parties, it seems. Like that the entire world is related to you. If that is the scenario. Huh? No. Then when they have interest, when one has obligation, all fancy words will start now. All Indians are my brothers and sisters. So obviously they become related. Because obviously we were taught in pledge only. So relation starts there. Influencing, correct. When decision of one is impacted by the other, controlling company, correct. Okay, fair enough. Can I say when one party controls or influences the other party, either directly or indirectly, then the two parties are related parties. What? When one party controls or influences the other party, either directly or indirectly, then they are known as related parties. Let us take a simple example now. Say there is any company X Limited. Okay. Now say X Limited controls or influences Y Limited. Then can I say X and Y, they are related parties? Come on, yeah. Now this was direct. It can also be indirect. How it can be indirect? Arey, yaar. Supposing X Limited controls Z Limited, but Z Limited controls Y Limited. Then can I say indirectly X controls Y? Come on, yaar. A is equal to B is equal to C. That is the only maths we know. So A is so ultimately, can I say knowing at least that much maths, we already know this is indirect relationship. See whether the relationship is direct or indirect. Important is there is a relationship. Now do you understand? Acha. So when can the parties become related? When one party controls the other. Acha. Now supposing, say I am the auditor of X Limited, Mr. R. Say I am a chartered accountant. Am I qualified? Come on here, you have not believed me throughout, but am I qualified? Okay. Then ultimately say I am the auditor of X Limited. Okay. Then X Limited is known as reporting entity. Which entity? Report. Say it is just a fancy name. There's nothing great about it. What is reporting entity? You have to give a report of this entity. So which is the reporting entity here? X Limited. Then what is Y? It becomes other entity. Then what is Z? It becomes intermediary. 1 minute. So can you tell me related party now with this definition? Correct. When the reporting entity controls or influences the other entity either directly or indirectly through intermediary, then it is known as a related party. Agreed? Acha. Now I'll ask you a simple question. Say husband and wife. Example, are they related? Okay. Say husband controls wife. Rare, but still. Husband controls wife. Still, are they related? Yes. Wife controls husband. Common. Related? Still related. It means, use common sense. Whether reporting entity controls the other entity or whether the other entity controls the reporting entity, they are still related parties. So whether that's why I told you husband and wife. Now, what do you think in between? Why will I bring husband and wife relationship? Suddenly I'm telling you about all the relationships. We are having a coffee and come on, I'll talk about relationships. No, I have to talk about relationships, but with reference to standard on auditing. Yeah. So husband controlling wife, wife controlling husband. Eventually there is control. No, that control is relation. So ultimately, can I say here also, reporting entity controls other entity controls reporting entity. Hardly matters because there is a control. If it is a control, it is related. All cool? Acha. Now, one company can become related to the other if they have something in common. What can they have in common? Firstly, controlling ownership. Lobala. Now, what do you mean by controlling ownership? Are yaar. Say ultimately, correct. Say I have controlling ownership here also. I have controlling ownership here also. So can I say there is a common controlling ownership? The owner is nothing but common in both of them. Then ultimately we say that X and Y are related. Why? Because they have common controlling ownership. Now do you understand? Acha. Secondly, key management. Hey, what do you mean by key management here? TCWG type, the BOD. For a simple example, what is the BOD here is also what is the BOD here. So ultimately decisions taken by nothing but people in X are the same people taking decisions in Y. Then can I say they have nothing but common management? Since the management is common, we say X and Y are related. Achha. And lastly, two companies can be related to each other if what they have in common are family members as owners. Now, what do you mean by family members as owners? See, by the way, initially it was different. Huh? Initially, I was the owner here, I was the owner here. So that was controlling ownership. Family members as owners are what? I'll explain. Say a simple example in our country, Reliance. Now, if you people appreciate, Reliance is broken up into two brothers, Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani. Correct? Now, ultimately, Mukesh Anil. Now, Mukesh has Reliance Industries Limited. Anil also has some Faltu type of companies, Reliance Communication, Reliance Power and all that. Correct? Now, my simple question. Are Mukesh and Anil related? Come on, yeah. Huh, exactly. Since Mukesh and Anil are related, then RIL also becomes related to RCOM. Why? Because these two companies have something in common. What is common? That the owners, they belong to the same family. Now do you understand? Acha. So ultimately, what is a related party? First tell me that, because that is the most important question of this standard. Firstly, related party are the related party as it is defined in the applicable FRF. In other words, AS18. Acha, whatever is not there in AS18 is defined by SA 550. As per SA 550, what are related parties? Three things. One, when the reporting entity controls the other entity either directly or indirectly through one or more intermediaries. Second, when the other entity controls the reporting entity either directly or indirectly through one or more intermediaries. Thirdly, when the reporting entity and the other entity, they have something in common. How many things? Three. One, controlling ownership. Second, key management. Third, family members as owners. All cool. All cool. See, have a look. Wait, where is it? See, related parties. Firstly, what is the meaning of related party? Related party as per applicable FRF. So obviously that is AS18 as it is. Apart from that, as per SA 550, there are three things. Firstly, when the reporting entity controls or influences other entity directly or indirectly through one or more intermediaries. Second, when the reporting entity is being controlled or influenced by the other entity directly or indirectly. You understand that by it is reversed now. But I told you now, whether it is this or that or this, eventually there is a relation, no? Achha. And lastly, reporting entity and other entity, they have something in common. How many things in common? Three. Controlling ownership, key management, family members as owners. This comes in the examination for 4 marks. Tell me if difficult. Achha. Lastly, what is the objective of the auditor of this standard? Very simple. Objective again is to obtain say regarding two things, related party and related party transactions. in which you have to check three things: whether they are identified by the management or not, whether they are accounted by the management properly or not, and whether they are disclosed by the management or not as per FRF. Now, if you even remember a bit of accounting standard 18, obviously I cannot expect more, being realistic. If you people remember a bit of accounting standard 18, in that AS 18, it was there that all the related parties and related party transactions have to be disclosed separately by the management. All the related parties and the related party transactions have to be disclosed separately. Now use common sense. So disclosure has to be made. No. Who will make? Management. Who will check? Auditor. Whether a disclosure is made or not. All cool? Achha. After knowing related parties, what are the risks associated with related parties? Very simple. See, always remember one thing. When there is a related party, now there is nothing but manipulation which is possible. Repeating, whenever there is a related party, there is a manipulation which is possible. Why? It is because you may not enter into the same terms and conditions which you otherwise would have entered with a normal person. No? For a simple example, if I want to sell to my brother, I don't have siblings, but still example. So ultimately, if I want to sell to my brother, I will sell at a lesser rate, no? Or I will give free. But I hope as if I want to sell to nothing, but I hope as an outsider, I will charge money, no? So whenever there is a related party transaction, there is a problem, no? Eventually the shareholders will suffer, no? Come on, yeah. So ultimately, will it be at the Asamala, you are lucky, it seems. Will it be at the same terms and conditions? No. So can it be different? Yeah. I was just wondering. Someone like you don't have brothers or sisters because one only is enough for them, for people to handle. So rude, yeah. They are like, if there was more like you, it was thanks for coming. I'm not that bad, yeah. They're like, yeah, you're worst. Worst to best, it seems. Hey, what is worst to best? Window dressing, secret reserve. Window dressing. How do you remember? WW, it seems, yeah. How come? Horrible. Who teaches you all this nonsense and stuff, yeah? Yeah. Only one. Because it helps, yeah. Yeah. I made a note for nonsense also. Yeah. Later. As of now, please let me focus on this now. Achha. Now see, what are the risks associated with related parties? Firstly, there may be complex transactions they may enter into. Then there is a weak ICS of the company. If there is a weak ICS of the company, obviously manipulation becomes simple, no? And the transactions are not at normal terms and conditions with the related parties. For a simple example, if I sell to an outsider, I will sell at normal selling price. If I sell to a related party, I will not even charge money sometimes. It may be nothing but for no consideration at all. Shareholders will ultimately suffer, no? Then ultimately auditor has to take care whether the transactions have happened at proper terms and conditions or not. I'll make one statement, see if you understand. They should be at arm's length transaction wise. What? They should be at terms and conditions which are there in arm's length. Hey, what is arm's length? Fair value. If it is at fair value, is it okay? Yes. But if it is not at arm's length, is it okay? No. Then see, what are the auditor's responsibilities? Very simple. To identify and assess and respond to ROMM. So ultimately, can I say, if at all he comes across nothing but I hope as related party transactions which are not at arm's length, then can I say ROMM is high? So obviously he will check less or he'll check more? He will check more. Then he should understand the related party and the related party transactions. It means understand whatever are the related parties and whether the relationship is direct, indirect, however it is. Okay. Thereafter, you have to maintain alertness. Hey, maintain alertness. Skepticism, correct. You have to have a questioning mind. See, this, comes when, this especially happens when you people are checking something and suddenly something is not as per normal business practices. For a simple example, normal selling price say 100 rupees. I come across a sales transaction which happened at 30 rupees. Now think and answer. Suddenly 100 and now 30. Discount of 70. Use common sense. Does it seem to be normal? No. So now you're, 30. So you have to maintain alertness. No, like this is alertness. So how do you get alert? You get alert like this only. No. So alertness, something has to happen. No. Or you're lifeless. So no, yeah. Acha, so ultimately, can I? Okay, I got it. I still get it. So ultimately, can I say you have to maintain alertness? Once you people come across the related parties transactions. Obviously, that indicates that it's a related party transactions. If you find something like this, supposing normal selling price was 100, but now you see 30, what does it indicate? It may be to a related party, but it is not sure whether it is to a related party or not. That you will have to find out whether it is to a related party or not. That you'll have to ask information to whom? Management. Batao. Why this transaction is not at normal selling price? And then they will give you information. Once you get information about related party, will you just keep it to yourself? No, there are other members in the team also. Engagement discussions have to happen. Then you will have to share this info with whom? Engagement team. And at the end, you will have to conclude whether the transactions have happened at arm's length price or not. Achha, if it is at arm's length, is it okay? Yes. If it is not at arm's length, is it okay? No. By the way, even if the related party transactions are at arm's length, still you have to make a disclosure. Even if they are not at arm's length, still you have to make a disclosure. Huh? It is not that if they are at arm's length, disclosure will not be made. No. Disclosure still has to be made, whether at arm's length or whether not at arm's length. All cool? Acha, doubt. What is arm's length then? Think and answer. What do you think is arm's length transaction? It is a transaction where ultimately there is influence or no influence? No influence. For there to be a transaction, can I say there have to be two parties? Which two parties? Buyer, seller. Come on, yeah. Acha, say I'm the buyer, you are the seller. Okay, so I am there to buy, you are there to sell. No, you'll not sell to me. So rude, yeah, you are. Some people just outright reject. Okay, they're like, no, if you are the party, then we are not doing any transaction with you. That is why you're so rude, yeah. Hana, yeah. I will not sell stationery, it seems. Anyways, you don't have to sell that. That too I will steal. No, exactly. Selling is not an option there. I steal, Baba. Yeah, it is like beg, borrow, steal. No. Achha, say I am the buyer, okay, and you are the seller. Now, can I say if we want to enter into a transaction? Achha, I'm talking about proper fair value transaction. Huh? Achha, we should be related or unrelated? Unrelated, correct. Achha, I should be dependent on you, you should be dependent on me, or we should be independent? Independent, correct. If I am the buyer, I will buy, so I will have to pay price. I will like to pay high of the price or lowest of the price? Lowest of the price. If you are the seller, you will try and get lowest of the price or highest of the price? Highest of the price. But can I say at one point of time, we people will settle at some price? That price will be known as arm's length price. Now do you understand? Okay. Then see, what is an arm's length transaction? Have a look. It is a transaction between, firstly, a willing buyer and a willing seller. Okay, nothing by force. Thereafter, ultimately, I hope as they are unrelated, they are acting independently. And if they are acting independently, they are acting in their own best interest. It means buyer is acting in the interest of himself only. Seller is acting in the interest of himself only. Seller is not acting in the buyer's interest. See, if seller is acting in the buyer's interest, seller will give it for free. If buyer is acting in the seller's interest, I will give you more than what is required. Exactly. So that is not going to happen. Arm's length means own interest. All cool? Last part. How do you identify related parties? In other words, what are the sources to verify that there is a related party? Few sources are entities, income tax returns. You will come to know ultimately what is the controlling ownership. So ultimately from there, you may get related parties. Information supplied by entity to the regulatory authority like SEBI. I hope it happens nothing but I hope every now and then you come to know that major shareholder is so and so. Then ultimately I hope that becomes a related party because you have controlling ownership. Shareholders register to identify principal shareholders. So again, you will come to know how much shareholding is there. Thereafter, contracts or agreements with the management and TCWG. So ultimately, I hope realize if you have entered into any transaction with the management and TCWG, there is a chance that it may be to a related party. So check that whether ultimately any contract or agreement is entered with the management and TCWG, whether it is a related party or not. Then contracts or agreements outside the normal course of business. The normal course of business is nothing but selling of goods, but suddenly you sold a certain part of your fixed assets. Now, and that also you sold to a certain person. Now use common sense. That person can be a related party that you have given the assets to. Ultimately, it may also be that you gave nothing but a certain piece of your land and building to nothing but somebody. That is not your normal course of business. Now, ultimately, that somebody can be a related party. So you will have to check whether it was to a related party or Not. Next, internal auditors report. I hope, Rice, can I use the internal auditor's work? Yes, SA610. So I can check in his report whether any related party is there or not. And lastly, life insurance policies acquired by the entity. Normally, life insurance policies will be acquired by the entity of nothing but those people who, correct, have substantial interest in the company. Ultimately, only if they have substantial interest, they will have life insurance policies, no? Then ultimately you will come to know that for whom the life insurance policy was, and from there you will come to know whether that person is a related party or not. In other words, key management personnel. You have done, yeah, key man insurance policy. Taxation, that much I remember. Yeah. Come on, yaar, all cool. Acha. So these are nothing but various sources from which you can get your related parties. Come on, tell me, what do you mean by related parties? Firstly, related party is nothing but related party as per applicable FRF. Apart from that, if applicable FRF does not tell, SA550 is telling. How many things? 3. 1. Reporting entity controls or influences the other entity directly or indirectly through intermediary. Acha, indirectly always remember, huh? Indirectly will happen, correct, through one or more intermediaries. Okay, always. This also. Okay. Acha, what is second one? Reporting entity is being controlled by the other entity directly or indirectly through one or more. And lastly, reporting entity, other entity in common. How many things, Baba? 3. Controlling ownership, key management, family members as owners. Acha. Thereafter, what is the objective of the standard? Very simple. It is to obtain say regarding related party and related party transactions. 3 things. Whether they have been properly identified, accounted, and disclosed as per FRF. Thereafter, ultimately risk associated. There may be complex transactions. Why complex transactions? Are relation is something which is indirect also, no? So ultimately, one may do to the other may do to the other may do to the other. There may be nothing but I hope as a whale only. Then ultimately, I hope realize you will have to check now the transaction is going via where. So that becomes a complex transaction. Then there may be a weak ICS. So ultimately, risk of misstatement increases. The transactions may not be at normal terms and conditions. So again, the risk of misstatement increases. See, this is when risks are associated. The risk is high of a misstatement. Thereafter, auditor's responsibility to identify and assess how much is ROMM, understanding the related party and related party transactions, maintain alertness, skepticism, share the information with the engagement team, transactions, whether they are properly recorded at arm's length or not. If not, then obviously you'll have to take steps. Steps you already know. Talk to the management, PAP, TCWG, opinion. Thereafter, arm's length transaction between a buyer and a seller, transaction between willing buyer, willing seller. Then unrelated, acting independently in others' interest. Oh, sorry. Acha, I know. Own it. Okay. And can you give me some examples of sources from where you can get related party information? IT returns, supplied information to the regulatory authority like SEBI, shareholders registered to know principal shareholders, contracts agreements, management and outside the normal course, internal auditors report, life insurance. All cool? All yours. Finish. Acha, by the way, this is related to chapter number 3. Huh? No key. Not key. Arey, any one should be satisfied, Ray. Either this, or this. All three together, no, Ray. And in this also, either this, or this. All three, no, Ray. How much relation? Yeah, it's a very. Then there is too much relationship. Yeah, it will become a bit claustrophobic. Yeah. Where is that relationship master? Yeah. Where did she go away? Huh? Oh, here she is. I was wondering where in the world are you? Yeah. She had a nice smile on her face, huh? I told that then. Yeah. Yeah. I can't. You must have kept like that. You all can do that. Yeah. That's so cool. Then I'm wondering who else then. Oh no, yeah. You want me to trust that? Okay. No, done, yeah. Hey, come on, yeah. Simple standard, yeah. Main is the meaning. Meaning and lastly the sources. But after this, what we have? Miscellaneous part. Miscellaneous has somewhere around 6 to 7 questions. Some are wondering, chapter 13 done, it seems. No, yeah, we have not started also, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Audit only is left, yeah. They're like, yeah, yeah, start again, it seems. Anyways, we don't remember much of it. So rude. Start over again, it seems. Yeah, you don't remember much of it, it's so rude. Done, yeah. They're like, shut up, yeah. It's the last day, yeah. Relax, yeah. Relax, it seems. Nikosi, your surname is also fancy, yeah? Lenin, it seems. First time on earth, I saw Lenin. Nikosi Lenin. Seems to be not an Indian name at all, yeah? You're Indian? Yeah. I mean, looking at the name only, people must be allowing you to go outside India, yeah? Yeah, yeah, go, go. You belong here only. Nikosi Lenin. So fancy. Nikosi Lenin. 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 Danya. What was there before this, yeah? Tax only. Oh. Tomorrow also tax only. Sunday also lecture, yeah. How come, yeah? Why, yeah? Sunday, why no chutti, yeah? Always, it seems. Oh, next week finished, oh. Hey, I told ya. Acha, I should tell TT department, it seems. Management, batao, batao. Why Sunday, no holiday? Yeah, yeah. Solid tha jai. Danya, come on, second part. During my classes, were there Sunday holidays? No, re. Lectures only, 7 days a week. Sigil, I have no clue, but seems possible. 8:39ish. So controlling ownership is what? Supposing ultimately say I have nothing but more than 25% shares in one company. I have more than 25% shares in the other company also. Then ultimately I have substantial interest in both the companies. Acha. Similarly, say I have more than 51% in one company, more than 51% in the other company, like most of the promoters do. Then in that scenario, can I say I have controlling ownership? Now I'm the major shareholder. So that becomes controlling ownership. When one person has the control over both of them, one person is the owner of both of them, then that becomes what? Correct. Related parties, no? Whereas the last one is different. Last one, there are family members who are owners. Not the same person is the owner. Now I am the owner, say my brother is the owner. Then I hope I and brother, no? So ultimately the companies also become related, which are owned by us. Some people are writing related party transactions RPT as RTP, it seems. Yeah, yeah. RTP. Why here, Prithvi? I see. Complex transactions is any transaction which is not simpler to identify that it has happened with who. It becomes difficult because I hope as it is not just one party and the second party involved. There may be various parties which are involved. So if there are more than one parties which are involved in the transaction, one sold to other to the other to the other, finally may come back. Then I hope as that becomes a complex whale of transactions. That is known as complex transactions. हाँ ये पृथ्वी डेफिनेटली है, वो तो है, no doubt about it. I am not going to tell any mocha joke today. Don't even expect one from me today. Huh. I told you so many last time, yeah. Chumma bloody, you made fun of me, it seems. And you people coming out with such jokes, yeah. Oh my god, to die for, it seems. DJ तेरे तो ना मतलब I would have really jumped from the 16th floor. Jump it, see. But you people, this is left, no audit. So ultimately, yeah. They're like, now it is getting over. Now jump it, see. This is not specific, Pacific. I mean, any nonsense, yeah. Why no? Aloo Bukhara was nice, yeah. Aloo came hot. Aloo Bukhara. So cool. No, yes, so. Dania. Chalo, chalo, chalo. Love to Dil Se was a joker. Love to Dil Se, I thought is something which is a fact, no? Then where do you do love from, Surana? Then Love to Dil Se only, no? Someone like love, ito joke hai. No, yeah. Rehem karo ni lehem karo, it seems. Lehem, lehem. हाँ दोषी आजा आजा. Some people are here to nothing but just tell jokes to me, it seems, rather than taking this essay 550 down. By the way, how will you remember 550? Very simple. Very related parties, 5 and 5, they are joint, related. See, they are twins. Now somebody will tell like this, huh? Hey, you don't like this in joint auditors also. There is a difference. I'll tell you how. See, joint auditors, if you remember, na, joint audit was 299. No, wait, I'll prove. And this is 550. Joint audit means what? This I told, na, 9 and 9, they are together, joint. But joint audit means 2 auditors minimum, na, hence 299. Whereas 550, see, they are twins, they come together. So 5 minus 5, how much? 0. See? If you remember like this, we had done in 505 also. If you remember, this was internal. This was external. What should be the difference between both? 0. See? But they are joined. No, these are together. Hence they are related. They come together. Here they are not together. No. This is internal. This is external. There is a difference. No. It was nice. Yeah. It's not that bad. Yeah. So rude. Someone like better was you should have told us to remember. You would have remembered it anyways. So this was a nice way to remember. Yeah. Some are telling, what are you trying to tell? It's okay. Yeah. You remember, it's okay. Come on, finish this last word. It's important. It's not that bad. Yeah. 299, 2 joint auditors. So 9 and 9 come together, joint. Then 505, internal, external, different 0. 550, related, relation, comes together, twins. So rude. Yeah. Someone like you are teaching numerology, it seems. No, yeah. Someone like family planning class. No, yeah. Family planning class, it seems, yeah. Then it cannot be theoretical, no. It's a theory class. Don't look at me. Arey yaar, wo bola aisa. Why are you telling me? Arey, in IT returns, basically I hope realize you have to give information along with the IT returns of the financial statements. So in IT returns, you will come to know it belongs to whom. So ultimately from that, you will come to know who is the controlling ownership, who is the major shareholder. Oh, Sumaya, none. I don't know. I also studied like this only, a nonsense. How in the world will you remember theory so much? I don't know. I didn't have that much brains to remember so much. I mean, when I was you, just like you people don't have much. I mean, you have a bit lesser still, but nine, nine. Danya, are life insurance? Na yeah. Why in the world will you take life insurance? A company will take life insurance for a person when he's a key man, no? When he's an important person, then ultimately that important person can have controlling ownership in the company, can be a related party. Then you'll have to check, no? What if that person is nothing but a key management here, also in the other company? Then ultimately they'll become common key management, no? And if there is common key management, correct, it becomes related. Danya, okay, come textbook please. Related parties, page number, you will have to tell. 86 then, as per some reliable sources at the end. No assumed today. Come. Related parties, firstly, I hope realize the meaning. This is important. This comes in the examination for 2 to 4 marks. Majorly 4. तू नहीं होगी फिर मतलब ऐसा नहीं यार. अच्छा, firstly, related party as it is defined in the applicable FRF. So I told you that is the meaning definitely. Or where the FRF establishes minimum or no related party requirements, what is not told by FRF is told by SA 550. Then as per SA 550, what it is? Then 3 things, no? A person or the other entity that has control or significant influence directly or indirectly through one or more intermediaries over the reporting entity. So can you tell me in my this chart, where did it go here? 550. In this chart, you are talking about which one? I just read out. A, B, or C? You are talking about B correctly. Can I say control? No. Okay, fair enough. No. Array, it has control over the reporting entity, na? So reporting entity is being controlled, no? Then another entity, that is other entity, over which reporting entity has control or significant influence, either directly or indirectly through one or more intermediaries. In my example, this was A. Thereafter, another entity is under common control with the reporting entity, having common controlling ownership, owners who are close family members, or common key management. Thereafter, risk associated, not required. Risk associated, see, there may be nothing but complex relationships, structures, which will give rise to complexity of the transactions. Then there are information systems which are ineffective. Then the transactions may not be conducted under normal market terms. Thereafter, auditor's responsibility to identify and assess ROMM. This is always there. Thereafter, second cancel is the same thing only. Thereafter, identified fraud risk factors, which we have done in SA 240. Fraud risk factors we people had done na? Incentive, pressure, opportunity, and last one was attitude or rationalization. We have done in SA 240, chapter number 5. If you want to hear, you just write down chapter 5 for reference. And obviously, owing to the inherent limitations of auditing, there is unavoidable risk that all the material misstatements will not be detected, even if it is with respect to nothing but related parties. Was finished. Next is subsequent event. Is already done. Come on, yeah, manageable, yeah. If you ask me what can get asked in this particular standard, firstly, the meaning. This is important. Examination, I already told you. Secondly, arm's length transaction. This is asked in the exam for 2 marks. So you'll have to write. How will you write? Arm's length transaction is a transaction between a willing buyer, a willing seller who are unrelated, acting independently in their own best interest. And lastly, this part, examples of verification of existence of RPs. That is the sources from which you can identify RPs. 3 questions basically possible from this standard. Come on, yeah, manageable, yeah. Okay. With this, can I say definitely we have finished SFI 50. Come to the beginning of the chapter, chapter 3. So much we have done here. How come here? I know ORA, ICI and everything here. Come here. Audit documentation. This is covered by SA 230. Can I say SA 230 done? Audit evidence 500 done. SA 580 written representation done. 501, if you remember, there were 3 things: inventory, litigation and claims, and segment information. Correct. Inventory done. 505 external confirmation, that was done way before. Done. 505. Initial audit engagement. Pehla audit hai. Done. 550 done. Concept of true and fair view done. Subsequent events done. Going concern done. So finally, can I say chapter number 3 done? Thanks for coming. Come behind page number 448 by it seems. 448 पे आ बड़ी जल्दी है देखो. If you come to the standards on auditing list, come on, yeah, help me, yeah, help. Oops. Where did you go, yeah? You're there, no? Oh, okay. Wait, yeah. Wait, yeah. Yeah, finally. Okay. Come. Textbook, please. Did you come? Okay. Have a look. 200 done, 210 done, 220. Can I say entirely done? We had Lehem also, PC Poi also. 230 done, 240 done, 250 done, 60 65 not applicable to you, 99 joint audit done, 300 done, 315 done, 320 done, this 3 not applicable, 500 done, 501 done, 505 done, 510 done, 520 chapter done, 530 chapter sampling done, 550 which was remaining related parties, thanks for coming. This also was related to chapter 3. Subsequent events done, going concern done, written representation done, 600 not applicable, 610 done, using the work or direct assistance, 620 not applicable, 700 entire series done, 710 also we did last time, SQC1 reference done. Can I say with this we can say that definitely what are also done is standards on auditing. Can I say definitely thanks for coming? Are yeah. अरे यार who's this other JK Shah classes here? No, not the Big Boss here. Big Boss must not keep it like that. I've not seen ever. Anyways, come back. Oi, can I say standards done? Yeah. Okay. Come here. Can I say chapter number 13 was something which was pending for us? Can I say chapter 13 is also done? So can I say SA 315 was pending for us? Can I say that also? Done. In chapter number 3, SA 550 was pending. Can I say that also? Done. So can I say everything definitely is done? But there is something obviously more. Take a fresh page.